Welcome to this video on the Zenware channel. Today we're going to talk about the Rootabagga, the Bhagwan, the Bhagwan, what that is. The Rootabagga is the god of the planet, okay? The culmination and pinnacle and directing force of nature, okay? The Rootabagga is the one that directs the priorities of the planet. Okay. Different planets can have their own Rootabagga, the god of the planet, the living incarnation, embodiment, the avatar of God on that planet, and of the functions, the incarnation of the higher functions of that planet. So the Rootabagga is the god of the planet, okay? And different planets can have their own Rootabagga. And Rootabaggas can meet and discuss things. So as their planets develop their Rootabagga, as living beings are in a sense a part of the organs of a planet, the Rootabagga is an organ of the planet as well, and is essentially connected to the power center, is the power center, and the directing higher functions of that planet, and the way that the story takes place on that planet. The Rootabagga is a god known by many different species of different levels of advancement that exist in creation, and different planets have their Rootabagga. The Rootabagga is the reason why we have the word Bhagwan in some of our scriptures and texts in humanity. Bhagwan, Rootabagga, Bhagwan, Bhagga. And the Bhagwan means the bag, the one who holds the bag. The gardener who gardens the garden of creation of his planet, and who determines what will grow and what will not grow, and pulls out the weeds, the bad herbs, the things that have gone wrong, that's not invited in the garden of God, and puts those things, cuts them, takes out their root, fixes it at the root, and puts those roots into the bag. He bags the systems. He's a bagman in that sense. He bags systems that need to be moved out of positions, and directs the higher functions of things and how they evolve on the planet. He's an organ of the planet and directs the planet in that sense as well, a force of nature, a part of the planet, a part of nature. So a good way of seeing it is that the Rootabagga is a force of nature, the force of God of that planet, and has different faces, different functions, which are representative of creation in that planet. So the Rootabagga can exist on different planets, and they can have their own Rootabagga, a Bhagwan, an avatar of God on the planet, also known as, in some ways, Ishwara, that has the forces of nature, the power over nature, the power over the system, the power over the planet and its development and its story. The Rootabagga, the force of nature, the part of nature that directs the higher functions, and the higher functions of all the different organs or beings, if you want to see it that way, and other functions of the planet. So the Rootabagga is the god of the planet. Now, amongst the Rootabaggas of all the planets, you also have the first Rootabagga, which is the Rootabagga, even of the other Rootabaggas. Okay. Now I've discussed how each person, each individual being, is like a god in their way because they represent a function within the greater system. And if they become enlightened and remember their function and the functions that they have within the system, they become the god of that function and become deities. And the golden age is where humans and other beings walk on their respective planets as deities in their own right, with their own powers and abilities to help creation and uphold the Dharma. So we must advance as one, knowing that we are one in this system. So let us take our path forward, right? All together. Let us advance into the future. Let us be brave and let us be wise. The Rootabagga is the god of the planet and comes to guide the planet into its destiny and future, into the most beautiful version that it can be of itself. He is the dreamer of the planet. And amongst the Rootabagga, there is the first Rootabagga, who is the Rootabagga of all Rootabaggas. The one whose function is not just of his planet, but of all planets. And that is the Rootabagga of Earth. Earth is the center. Okay. And Kailash is the center of creation in its entirety, not just of Earth. So Earth is known to be a very important planet amongst many races, amongst many beings, and is protected in its own right by an alliance of beings who protect it from anything that might come in through the opportune. Okay? Where the very advanced ships can come out of. The travelers that make their way here. And they are greeted, as you can understand, with some reservation. And there have been occurrences of this happening when beings come from somewhere else. And the beings who protect this place, who look and oversee these things, and the planet from above, have had to intervene. There are many things taking place at many different levels. A society beyond what you can see in society. The Rootabagga is the god of the planet, a living organism to himself, the avatar of God, the Bhagwan, the Bhagwan. He carries the bag and has all the tricks within his bag as well, that he can pull out at any time. He can use all the tricks at his disposition to enlighten life and the beings on this planet. The Rootabagga, and we add root to Bagga, to Bhagwan, is the one that comes in with the root solutions to the problems of creation. Solutions such as universal income for all, no matter if you work or don't work. Fixing the technology of energy distribution, which is money, and the allocation of resources through it, by making sure that no one is ever in lack ever again of money. A technology is only as good as its use and application. And when it hurts people by creating harm, in this case with its lack of availability. And for some, well, then it has not been used to its fullest degree, and we still have work to do. And the solution is universal income, to enrich creation and treasure every single being in creation by telling them you deserve a part of this creation and the allocation of its resources by right of being a being in this world. You deserve a home, you deserve universal income. And we encourage you to work and be a contributing factor of this world and the organism of this planet. But for those days when you'll be on your spiritual practice, or when you have challenges in life, you will be supported by society, of which you are a part of and a treasured member, loved by society. The Rootabagga is the God that comes with the solution to the problems of creation. The problem is suffering, and the end of suffering brought by the Buddha, by the Rootabagga. The solution, universal income, which solves disease, inequality, injustice, pain, suffering. Inequality, did I say that? The inefficient distribution of resources to all systems, with the understanding that all beings are systems of our ecosystem, and that all are connected, and when one is harmed and suffers, even though you're not aware of it, your system suffers. So don't suffer, and don't let others in your system suffer. The Rootabagga comes with the solution of universal income for all and explains it to you and tells you. From there, people will be able to invest in their communities with this universal income. No more will orphans be born in this world and lack. The society, the world, must take care of itself. And one day when we come into contact with other worlds, we must hope for the best for them as well. So the Rootabagga is the god of the planet, the Bhagwan, the Ishwara, the force of nature. And each planet can have its Rootabagga. And sometimes they meet and discuss things. The Bhagwan is the one of the bag who cuts systems at the root, eliminates systems from creation, but also the one who plants them and lets them grow, as long as they stay beautiful and part of the master vision of the garden. The Rootabagga is the one who directs the systems of the planet and who brings truth and light to their planet. Peace be to your hearts.